It's motherfucking Bowl and Breffix, the podcast. Hello.
Hello.
And hello and welcome to the third ever episode of the Bowl and Breffix podcast. My name is Jordyn and I'll be your delightful host today. I'd like to welcome my very good friend, straight native from Los Angeles, Joe Holliday.
How's it going?
It's going very well. It's so good to see you, dude. It's been
Likewise.
Many years since we've been in person together. We've survived an entire pandemic since the last time we've seen each other in person.
That's true, just narrowly.
Narrowly, by the skin of our chinny chin chin. So, Joe, I'm just going to hop right into it. You've had such an amazing career. Tell us a little bit about what you're working on right now and where people can find some of your work.
Well, right now I'm in New York, and we're going to be shooting some more little intermission videos for Miss Sarah Squirm for her upcoming summer tour. And in the last week, the last two shows that I worked on just came out. That's I Think You Should Leave Season 3 and Eric Andre Season 6.
So that's awesome. What are some of the things that people will see in I Think You Should Leave Season 3 that have the Joe Holliday touch?
The main things that I worked on that one was I did a lot of prop building and practical special effects. So I had some shots in the sitcom taping skit where it was the TK Jewelers is a scam, L&L limos. So I did all the mechanical effects on that. And then I did the Metalloid Maniac in Season 3. And a couple other odds and sods. I was pretty much on staff as the anything that looks weird builder person.
I figured you were part of the Metalloid Maniac because you made this amazing costume for the ghost of... Which Christmas was it?
What was it?
The one Christmas ghost from Season 1.
Oh, yeah. In Season 1, I did the mech suit that Sam was wearing when he comes out and does the bit with Scrooge. I forget the name of that skit off the top of my head.
It was some iteration of Christmas, either the one that passed, the one in the future,
Ghost of Christmas Far Future.
Yeah. I have a really epic picture of you wearing that suit. I'll have to post that with your permission.
Yeah, I've been on this show since Season 1 as the specialty prop builder.
Tell me a little bit about how it was for you to be behind the insult alien in the sketch with Tim Heidecker where he's on a date and he's...
What was that again? I didn't catch it.
The sketch where Tim Heidecker's on a date in the alien bar.
Oh, yeah.
You were behind you were operating the insult alien,
Mars
correct?
restaurant. It was Mars restaurant, and the alien comes out and all that. Yeah, so I was operating the alien puppet on that, and what's it called? They had this super bright flashing light that just blasted my face. Even if you closed your eyes, you'd still be able to see your hand in front of your face. It was that bright. So I was having to wear a sleep mask, my COVID mask, my walkie, my earwig. I had so much stuff on me. It was crazy. And then I was having to operate the puppet. I've got some videos.
Would you say there was too much fucking shit on you?
Yeah, I had too much fucking shit on me.
How does it feel? How did you have any sense working on Season 1 of I Think You Should Leave that it would become what it became? Because it's so popular now, and it's one of the most quotable shows that's out right now.
When I was working on it on season 1. I wasn't quite sure how popular it was going to become. I didn't think that it was going to become like as big as it did. And it wasn't until like season 2. It wasn't until Coffin Flop that like I really saw like, oh shit, this is like the show is crazy. We took
people love it.
I think it was like
it's insanely popular.
We started pre-production in 2019 and didn't finish until 2021 for season 2 because we got disrupted right in the middle of it. There's the whole article on like the coffin flop thing, but I almost ended up with all the coffins in my backyard for the entirety of COVID. That would have been pretty weird. But yeah,
you would have probably come in handy as like a.
Oh no, I was taking pictures of the coffins and I was putting them up and saying like #prepping.
Yeah, just getting ready. I'm sure you would have been a great help. So that's awesome. What were some of your favorite sketches that you worked on I Think You Should Leave? Season 1, 2, 3, whatever.
Coffin Flop was definitely my favorite. To do all the engineering on that, to do the tests, to work with Fatal Farm. Those guys are great. And then they directed it. And then when we were actually filming it, it was like a foot chase through the cemetery. We broke like 28 coffins that day. Yeah, we shot a lot of bodies falling out of coffins.
It's pretty dark. I think something I would definitely say about the show is that I feel like the style of comedy is polarizing. Like I could see how some people would be like, yo, fuck this show. But the people who love it. I mean, it's so popular and it's so quotable.
It definitely is polarizing, though. I've shown it to a few people, and within a single sketch, they've told me to go fuck myself. So,
what sketches have made people told you to go fuck yourself?
I think it was like the haunted tour one from season 2. The one with
where they can say whatever the hell they want. I say that to myself quite often. Can say.
But yeah, on Metalloid Maniac, we actually put that guy on the wall with big ass magnets. And
so that was for real.
He was really having a hard time scurrying around like a bug.
'Cause he looks older, right? Is he in like his 60s or 70s?
Yeah, he also had a broken hand.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was kind of a lot. Like he was not having a good time in that suit. It was definitely a
he was not having a good time.
Yeah, it was definitely a life imitates art kind of moment.
Well, I think by the time this episode comes out, probably all, if not most, of the season 6 of the Eric Andre show will be out.
Oh yeah.
Feel free to stop me if any of the questions get a little.
Can you come back with that? I didn't hear.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right. I think most of the season 6 will be out, if not all of it, by the time this episode comes out. So, but obviously, feel free to stop me if I ask anything that is a little NDA. But tell me some of the stuff that you enjoyed working on season 6.
Season 6 was crazy. I think we had like 32 emergency services vehicles called on us while we were in New York. Firefighters tried to rescue me from a bunch of rubble that I was stuck in.
Wow, really?
Yeah. So we shot. I don't know if you've seen the first episode yet, but we shot this scene where there's a collapsed building, and Eric comes out and he was like, "Oh, we were playing Jenga with the bricks," and then I'm in the rubble, as a jump scare. Like my hand would pop up to try to scare the person, and I think it was like the final mark that we were with, like starts giving Eric some beer, and then like Eric like gives me a beer while I'm in the rubble, and like it was a really fun scene.
Hell yeah.
And like right as we're ending, the fire department shows up, and I'm saying like, oh man, like surely a PA is going to come in and stop the fire department, tell them that this is a show and all this. And we're filming some pickup shots, so like my hand coming out of the rubble holding the beer. And what's it called? Next thing I look over and there's a firefighter standing right on top of me. He's like, "Are you okay, sir?" Because my hand is covered in fake blood and dust and all this. And
well, they're
before
on
I even
top
have
of their
anything
job.
to say, like he goes, "It's just an actor," and yells over to his buddies. They all start chuckling and then just drive off. It was definitely one of the weirdest experiences of my life.
How is it? Were you filming in LA or New York?
We filmed in both. We shoot a lot of the studio stuff in LA, and then we shoot a lot of the pranks in New York. But we shoot some of the pranks in LA too.
Because it makes me wonder, like, with Eric having done this show in New York for so many years now, and him being so popular, it makes you wonder, like, same thing with like the Impractical Jokers. They're extremely famous in New York now. How do you still find enough marks that don't know who he is that can still be fucked with?
It's kind of funny. So like a couple times Eric did get recognized by people. I mean, he does a lot to like change his appearance and to disguise himself. But he still got recognized a few times. The people would ask him like, "Hey, ain't you that guy from that movie?" And he'd just say no, and then they would just interact like normal. It was the weirdest thing. Like, and then on one prank, to get into specifics, it was the elevator prank on season 6. The guy that came in, our Mark, he was a booked Mark, so he thought he was coming into a job interview, and he recognized Eric in the lobby, but then Eric had a body double and switched out for the body double during the majority of the prank. So the guy like thought that he was talking to one guy, and then it switches out. That guy was the most confused I've seen anyone in my life when he got off the elevator, and then like Eric and the body double are there, and they start talking to him and all this. It was pretty funny. But yeah, he avoids it just by saying like, "No, that's not me," and that works.
He just gaslights people. That's awesome. How was it for you to flex a little bit of your vaudeville act on season 5? That's when you did your clothespin gig, right?
Yeah. So back in the day, I used to be a sideshow performer, and my act was that I could put more clothespins on my face than anyone on the planet. I did 172.
Is that true, or is that an exaggeration?
For real, I did 172, and the world record was 169.
Oh, fuck yeah. Where's Guinness at?
No, Guinness didn't
Get
show
that
up.
documented.
Guinness, they have to be there to officiate the record, is what I heard.
Oh,
but
Christ.
Yeah, they didn't show up for it, so I didn't pay them. You gotta pay them. You gotta pay Guinness.
Oh, of course.
That cheetah has just been paying them off. "I'm the fastest land animal," he says.
So there's probably people breaking world records out there all willy-nilly, and they...
Left and right.
Right.
But
all william-nilliam.
They're just not there to officiate.
Right.
Anyhow, so it was kind of funny. I was telling a completely different story, and it was that my ex-girlfriend, whose house in Brentwood was full of guns or something like that, she used to be my assistant, and then like it got brought out in discussion with Eric, and he was like, "Well, we got to get you on the show now." So I came out a couple times during season 6, but they only used the one shot of me coming out and doing a magic trick.
Makes me, I love watching that part.
What's
Makes me
that?
scream. I love watching that part when you come out. Gets me all excited. So tell me about your first big art department gig. What was that?
I think the first one that I really enjoyed and like really got a lot of creative control on was a show called Ghost Story Club, um, where it was like a Are You Afraid of the Dark parody, where people will come out and tell stories, and then we do like this entire black box theater.
Who was in that? Where can we find that?
Oh, and we're back.
We good.
Hello?
Yo,
Okay.
where can I find that? That sounds awesome.
I think most of it's on YouTube now. The show, it was kind of sad because it got like put into another show, so not a lot of people saw it. Like they just embedded it inside of another show.
Interesting.
They would be like, "Here's this one show," and then they'd switch over to Ghost Story Club. Um, but it was awesome. I really enjoyed the show.
What did you do on it?
What's that?
What did you do on it?
I built all the cardboard sets and then did all the practical effects and like stagecraft on that. There was like some puppets. There was like a cake sheep, a sheep made out of cake. There was a bunch of stuff on it. It was really fun.
So Joe, you I'd say are one of my most accomplished friends. You've done so many cool things. You've been a part of so many incredible projects and shows. And you're someone I would say is like behind the scenes famous. Like you're extremely accomplished, but well, not but like you're more of a behind the scenes person. Which brings me to you almost seem to enjoy this anonymity aspect about it. Is that accurate?
Yeah. I find that you got to make your best work if you're not attached to it in an egotistical way. That if you're not like, this is, that you don't have to present a frontward face of a caricature of yourself and like, oh, I do this, so this is the style of work that I do.
So it can just be genuinely from your heart and soul, and you don't have to worry about all the
it doesn't get
Hollywood
caught up in
bullshit.
Any of the egotistical parts of your brain.
I love that. So that connects me to something that you were extremely anonymous and extremely successful with. You really popped very hard on TikTok.
That's true. I haven't been doing a lot of videos lately, but I'm hoping to change that pretty soon.
Can you tell me a little bit about your TikTok? What is your TikTok name? What was your brand? And
I do a lot of videos about payphones that do weird things. My handle is at Solopsist. And they're just like practical effect payphones. It's usually these hands.
Hey, if anybody recognizes those monos out there.
It's all POV videos of me interacting with weird payphones.
How long did it take for these videos to start popping off? Because it was so crazy. Like I would watch, I try to stay off social media as much as possible, but I will watch YouTube, TikTok compilations, and your videos started popping up in these TikTok compilations that I was watching, and I was like, holy shit, that's my friend. So when did it, how long did it take for them to start really getting some numbers?
Yeah, so it was kind of a weird story on it. So during the pandemic, I'm used to like putting some stuff in galleries every once in a while. So that all stopped. And I'm like, well, I still want to go out and make art. And I modified a payphone to have instead of a receiver, it had like a can. Um, and I just was taking photos of these. And I did some other ones. I did like a brick. I did like an iron, a hair dryer, all kinds of stuff. And I was just like taking photos of these things. And then the ideas behind it became I had to do videos of it. Like I did a payphone that like shoots blood out of it. I did a payphone that was all floppy. I did one that was made out of chocolate. I did all these ones like that. And I was taking videos of them and just putting them on Instagram, but it really wasn't going anywhere, and I really didn't like care that much. I think I got off Instagram because I feel that it sort of reconfigures the way that you view the world.
Yes.
Any of those social media, like it reconfigures like the way that you experience the world. So I got off of it, and then a friend of mine was like, "Hey, you should post your videos on TikTok," and like pretty much immediately they went crazy. So like they were getting like thousands and thousands of views like within the first couple that I posted. But yeah, I need to make some more. I've actually I'm gonna change around the series to season 2 pretty soon, and we'll see how that transition goes.
I definitely agree that social media skews your view of the world, and it puts things into a very weird perspective, and that's part of the reason why I try to stay off of it. I find that my ego is very immediately stoked by getting on social media, and I try to avoid that. Feels gross.
I think that it's for one, when you're interacting with strangers, it's like you're interacting with ghosts. Um, even if you're interacting with your friends, it's like you're interacting with like a hologram of your friends. And it also like changes all of the experiences that you have to experiences that are mediated by the camera and by those platforms. Like, oh, hey, I'm in this park right now. Wouldn't it be great to post this on Instagram? It changes your perspective on things. So that's why I try to avoid it. But
Yeah, it's kind of like there's a barrier between you and the present moment when it's like, oh, here's this beautiful park that I'm in, and then you post a picture of it, and if you're not careful, you can judge the worthiness of this experience by the amount of likes that you get on this picture.
Yeah, more or less.
That's one of my problems with it, where it's like, yeah, if I'm not careful, I can judge, or a part of my mind judges what I posted about based on the amount of likes that it gets, which is really unhealthy.
This is why a lot of the types of projects that I do, I try to be anonymous, and I try to like make stuff that might just be made for one person that I'll never get to meet. Like this one, I guess it doesn't. It's probably not going to matter if I say what I'm doing on this one. I did a hoax where I made a whole bunch of cement bolts, like nuts and bolts. I made them out of cement. Like I made a mold of a bolt and then cast it in cement, and then made a box that said, cement bolts to save metal during World War II. And then I hid them down at an abandoned mine for someone to find, and then find these cement bolts. And the type of people that go into abandoned mines are usually like looking for artifacts and stuff. So they're going to find this thing that's like a historical hoax that to me is very comedic, because a cement bolt wouldn't work for anything. It would just break immediately. But maybe that's an art piece for just one person that finds it. Maybe it's an art piece that just the idea of it is the piece. But to me, it's beyond what I'd actually get to experience. I don't get to experience anyone's reaction to that. The idea is to like implant something that maybe goes beyond what that is.
And they'll never know it's you. It's just that you have this connection. You make a connection with this person that will never.
It's a one-way connection, though.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love it. So speaking of art that's made for a very specific kind of person, you met one of my favorite internet figures by the name of Shay St. John.
Oh yeah, Shay.
Tell me about interacting with and being in space with Shay St. John.
I can tell you that Shay is real. She used to come to a club in North Hollywood called the CIA, the California Institute of Abnormal Arts, and she used to come there and sing from time to time. I used to hang out with her back in the day.
That person passed away, right?
Yeah, I forget which year they passed away. They passed away a few years ago, though, which is so sad. I don't know
what was the name of that man. His name was Eric Boudreau or something like that, right?
That is one theory.
Okay. You showed me this this talent of yours some years ago. We were out for a night of alcoholic beveraging and merriment of all sorts. You were wearing a white suit. It was a fabulous white suit. I couldn't believe it. You looked amazing. And you flexed a little bit of a skill that you have, and that's that you can sing the happy birthday song backwards.
Yeah, that's correct. Would you like me to sing a few bars?
I would love for you to sing it for us.
All right. If I remember correctly, it's
It is my birthday on Thursday, so this is going to be perfect.
Well, if it's your birthday on Thursday, then half there we up. Half there we up. Half there we up. Half there we up.
Oh, thank you.
Here's the thing.
I think that was
the only thing that was actually forward in this interview. The rest of it was backwards.
Right. We're really good at. We're really good at talking backwards. I remember. I think I took an audio recording of you doing that back in the day, and played it backwards so I could hear what it sounded like, and it was extremely haunting. So anyone out there watching this podcast, when it finally comes out, please feel free to listen to this correctly, which is backwards, and you'll have quite a treat.
It's like a Slayer album.
Yeah, you can you can sync it up with a certain part of The Wizard of Oz, and
yeah,
it perfectly syncs. And it's just great fun to watch with all your homies. Joe, you've had such an illustrious career, and I'm sure you're only getting started.
Well, I hope so.
I think that
there's more stuff coming up. I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm so excited to see what happens down the line for you and what you bless us all with. I wonder if there's anything you could say to a young buck out there who's just getting started in your field, who might want advice from an older, more experienced artist. What would you say?
My thing is any success is going to definitely be random and based on chance. You'd have to be ready for that when it comes, and it does take a lot of dedication to do crazy things. Like you can't just phone it in. And my thing is to definitely study engineering a lot. I would advise that, to know your types of glue that you're using, to know how to make paint, um, and also to be
You
able to
heard
think
it
on
here,
your and to
folks.
be able to think on your feet. Does it? There's the old joke. How many art department people does it take to change a light bulb? Does it have to be a light bulb? To be flexible in what the final product is, and to not beat yourself up too much. I guess those
You
are
heard it
as
here,
generic as
folks.
those advices are.
Know your kind of glue and think on your feet. No, that's beautiful, and I love that you touched on earlier. You, it's worked out really beautifully for you to do your best to keep your ego out of things, and you've had such an amazing ability to stay anonymous and to not really get your ego involved. I think that's such important
Yeah,
advice.
always
And
make stuff for yourself, like, or for a person that you'll never meet. I consider
or
making
make
art
things
casting spells.
specifically for a person you'll never meet.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, that said, I should probably get back to it.
All right, my dear. Thank you so much for sitting with me today. It's so good to see you.
Likewise. Hopefully, next time we can do this in person.
Yeah, hell yeah. I would love that.
All right. Well, I'll talk to you soon.
All right, my dear.
All
Have
right.
a great day.
All right. You too. See ya.
Bye.